Good afternoon, guys. My name is Fons Cepeda and I study from
Okay, I'm Fons Cepeda and I study in UP Diliman. Good afternoon. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the power of God. So first off, why can we get power from God? So, first reason is IJ's message, which is God is our Father. So, what does that mean if God is our Father? It's a relational thing. Imagine yourself in your house. Nagising ka sa gabi. I'm hungry. Parang gusto ko ng snack. Hindi ka naman pupunta sa bedroom ng dad mo. Gigisingin mo siya. Dad, gutom ako. Okay lang, please. Kumuha ako sa ref. Kasi hindi ko na kaya eh. Hindi eh. You just go down, go to your ref or pantry and get a snack or whatever because you're living in your dad's house and he's your dad. Your relationship with him is like that. Hindi yung parang stranger lang na you'll get food from him or whatever. A second illustration for this is, imagine a kid playing in a soccer game, going for the goal, and he trips on a big rock and scrapes his knee and he cries. Then his dad sees him. What will the dad do? He won't say, yan kasi ang banu-banu mo, tingnan mo, goal na yun eh. Hindi eh. Parang he empowers him, he tells him to get up son, you can do it. So, the second reason is God loves us. So, God is our Father and He loves us. And His love for us is so infinite. Sabi nga ni IJ, imba. Diba? And we can't grasp it. So, power. What is power for the world? Like, what does the world consider as power? An obvious example is political power, like the government, the president. You know, he has the power to make these laws and empower the police to arrest people. He has a very wide set of powers he can use. Second is money, of course, and material wealth. This is parang most common thing. Yung mga rappers na famous, mga artists, they have these cars, these huge mansions. And that's one of the biggest illustrations of power you can get. Of course, fame. Again, the artists out there who have like billions of followers and fans, di ba? And of course, superpowers. Sino sa atin dito nung maliit tayo, I wanna be Superman or I wanna be Batman, di ba? Because they're so great, they save people's lives with their supernatural powers. But let me tell you something, all of these things, all of the things that we think as powerful in this world, it will not work. Because life is a battle. And it's not a regular battle like in the field of business, like competition, who earns more in a year, or what work do you do, or am I successful, how much money do I have in the bank. But it's actually a struggle. It says in Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So, taking all these together, money, fame, political power, or even supernatural powers, if anyone has that, it won't be enough because it says here, our struggle is not against flesh and blood. It is not in this world. It is the powers of the dark world against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And there's only one source of power that can actually defeat that, and that is God's power. So worldly power versus God's power, it's two dimensions apart. So let me talk about God's power. It says in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, for God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline. So God's Spirit the Holy Spirit, we can draw power from Him. But this is a package deal. It says here, spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline. It's not pure power, it's not pure love or self-discipline. It's all three combined into one. Because imagine power by itself. How would you handle it? How would you handle it? How would you handle yourself with it? The famous saying, with great power comes great responsibility. It's so cliche and overused, but it applies to the Bible, it applies to God's Word here. So love, power and love, it's like we're given power so that we may use it for love, for other people, for our brothers and sisters in Christ. And of course, self-discipline. So we don't do the things that, like the powerful people in the world now, they don't have self-discipline. So they do stuff with their power that they think it's okay, but it's only benefiting them in the end. So this is a package deal: power, love, and self-discipline from the Spirit of God. It also says in Luke 10:19, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. 1 John 4:4 also says, you, dear children, are from God, and have overcome them. Them meaning the evil forces in the spiritual world, the dark spiritual world. Because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. So these verses talk about how only God's power can defeat the enemy, and none of these human powers or the powers from the world, they can't do anything. They can't even put a dent on the armor of the enemy. Only God can. Now, during my first year of college in UP, I had an experience that really made me realize how God's power is so strong, and it's all that we need. I was 1 point short of passing this really hard subject. It's called Chem 16, and I hate Chem. I'm sure most of you also hate Chem. So I was gonna fail. That meant another sem of taking it, and I couldn't do anything about it. But so I tried everything. I talked to my teacher, I talked to the dean, everything. I pleaded. I was literally begging them to give me that 0.1 to pass, because I didn't want to repeat the sem because of 0.1. I mean, come on. So to make the story short, I didn't get it. I mean, after everything I did, it was a big no at the end. So that's when I knelt down literally in my room, feeling so sad and down. And I said, Lord, why is this happening? So that was the first time I called out to Him, and I actually asked Him, even though I knew it was impossible, I asked Him, Lord, just do something. I don't want to do this. And I just give up everything to you. And after that, I just said, we'll see what happens. So the next day, teacher comes up to me and says, did you see the exemption list in the board? Sabi ko, no sir, I don't want to look at it na kasi wala naman pag-asa. Sabi niya, ano bang pangalan mo? Cepeda po. Cepeda, sandali lang ha. So it takes out this walang pag-asa ho? Ano yan? Cepeda yan eh. So I said, seryoso ka pa? So I couldn't say anything because wala lahat eh. Tinanggihan na ako eh. So sure enough, when I saw my name on that list, I was like, wow, Lord. I can't, hindi mo ma-explain eh. How can you explain that in human terms eh? It was all divine. So that was, from that day on, I realized that whatever problem we face, no matter how huge it is, we don't have to strive. We don't have to use our own, strengths and powers, or human powers to try and fix it. We go direct to God. We fall down on our knees, surrender everything to Him, not thinking about how you solve it. You just focus your eyes on Him because you know that He will fix it. All He wants for you is to just let go and just hang tight on Him. So my main point is, always tap on God's power first. Don't try and do your own thing before you come to God. Don't make prayer a last resort. It's a first resort actually. It's the default. It should be our default. It's like, okay, I have a problem. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna come to God. I'm gonna get on my knees and I'm gonna pray to Him. Lord, let your power take over. Let me close with this verse, Psalm 73:26. It says, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." Here's the thing. Our power, our human strengths, our power as human beings will fail. No matter how strong you are, no matter how smart you are, it will fail. But the thing is, as human beings that have God in our hearts, as human beings with God's power in our hearts, nothing can break us no matter what. So, yeah, thank you.